In the world of Turinlay rests an enormous island called Prycene. The nation of Prycene is governed by a king and council, though the real power rests in the hands of 10 cursed immortals, powerful supernatural figures who serve only their self-interests. The land is plagued with black-blooded monsters, corrupt political leaders, and bloodthirsty bandits. And the one man who is willing to stand up to them all just so happens to be an unholy abomination, a summoner of the undead, the Necromancer of Prycene.
Welcome everybody to table read number 4 of the Necromancer of Prycene. My name is Nico and I'm the writer for the show, and we've got a small cast today, but it is a good episode. So before we get started, I will hand it over to introduce our cast, starting with Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh. I'm the voice of Charlton Shanks, aka Charts.
Hi, I am Blythe Renee, and I am the voice of Anya Esh.
Do we?
All right, and I did dive right in, bro.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to say something after that or not.
No,
Okay.
There's no more words. There's no more people to introduce. It feels so small with only the three of us.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if you usually said something afterwards or not. Whatever, it's fine. I'll go. I have to make that noise to indicate that we're going. Welcome back, my fellow scoundrels, outcasts, and miscreants. Allow me to summarize what's happened thus far. I left the town of Willow's Bend with my best friend Frank and the thief Anya. I didn't know she was a thief while we strolled down the Spike Tree Highway, but as we reached the spot where the Advents were investigating the bandit attack, Anya disappeared. So did my coin. I followed the Advents as they tracked the bandits back to the camp where the highway raiders claimed they were innocent of murder and their only crime should be looting. But the Advents didn't believe them. Just as the scene began to escalate, both parties were attacked by a monstrosity that bled black ichor. In an attempt to save them, I ran back to the bodies of the recently deceased merchants and reanimated their corpses. You know, necromancer stuff. The Vivified assisted in the combat and were able to destroy the abomination, saving the Advents and the leader of the bandits. Cadamus, the leader of the Advents party, then proceeded to murder Guval, the leader of the bandits, and Frank and I fled before we were discovered. We returned to Willow's Bend. The innkeeper, Mike, offered me a job cleaning the stables and told me about a watcher recently arriving in town. The Advents returned shortly after me, bringing the heads of Guval and the monstrosity. They spun a fantastically inaccurate tale about how the combat unfolded and gave themselves the most ridiculous party name I've ever heard, the Fated Four. My name is Charts. I have the ability to reanimate the dead, and I'm on a quest to kill the most powerful man in Prycene. Chapter 4, Black Magic. I woke before dawn, my mind already running through the day's meager agenda, which included cleaning the stables for Mike and somehow finding more money. My original plan of resupplying my travel packs was out of the question until I did. I laced up my boots, grabbed a few leftover bread rolls that Mike had left out, and headed to the stables, munching on one as I walked. The stables weren't much to look at. 12 stalls, several occupied by the mules and horses belonging to the Advents, Big George's cousins, and the Watcher. There was only one large entrance, which was used to bring horses in and out. Stable tools hung on the wall to the left, just past the entry, and the place reeked of piss-soaked sawdust and horse shit. Perfect. Before I started the dirty work, I checked on Frank. He was still tucked away in the back stall, the unit dedicating to storing extra sacks of sawdust, which were used in place of straw. I offered him one of the bread rolls, which he took without hesitation. My friend didn't eat often, so I was pleased when he took the bread and bit into it. Hey, Frank, how you holding up, pal? Did you get a good night's rest? No? Me neither. I had a nightmare. Those damn Advents were killing the merchants. But in the dream, they weren't vivified. They were normal people. Anyway, it was just a dream. We have real-world problems on our hands, like how to make money. Mike's going to pay us to clean these stables, but that won't get us far. We'll need more coin to resupply before we can leave this town. After we're done here, we should head back to the bandit hideout. Maybe the Advents missed something. They were in a bit of a hurry, so there might be a secret stash they didn't notice. Also, get this. Those pompous idiots call themselves the Fated Four. How pretentious is that? God's above. And there's a watcher in town, so you should stay out of sight, just in case. When we get back, we'll find some place for you to stay outside of town and pray to the widow that it doesn't rain. All right, that's enough procrastinating. You finished your roll? Okay, good. I'll start cleaning the stalls, and you should carry the fresh sawdust sacks. Wow, that's a tough one to say. I'll start cleaning the stalls, and you should carry the fresh sawdust stacks. Stack them right there and try to avoid the horses if possible. It took us slightly longer than anticipated, but we completed the task just after dawn. The town of Willow's Bend was waking, and the cheerful sounds of children running through the street made me want to get out of there fast. Too much noise and far too many eyes. Frank and I set off, retracing our steps from the night before. The spiked tree highway seemed almost pleasant this morning. Birds chirped and squirrels chattered. It was as if the forest had forgotten the bloodshed from the night before. The world felt lighter, but I couldn't shake the tension from my chest. Frank trudged along beside me, still cloaked and masked despite the beautiful morning. We walked a short distance, saying nothing and listening to the forest life. The sharp snap of a twig caught my attention, and I spun around to see Anya stepping out from the woods. The brown-eyed thief stood wearing a mischievous grin, with her hands raised in a mock surrender.
Heya, boys.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Don't be mad.
Mad? I'm furious. Give me back my money.
I'm gonna. Just let me explain, okay?
I don't care about your explanation. I want my coin.
Okay. Here, take it.
It better all be here.
It's all in there. I promise.
Good. Now, go away.
Look, I didn't steal it for no reason. Let me explain.
I don't care why you stole from me or why you gave it back. You're lucky I don't turn you in.
To who? Constable Arun? Or the Advents? What a joke.
Just piss off.
Chots, give me 5 minutes.
I'm not interested.
3 minutes.
We're going.
No, wait, please.
Fuck off.
I know you're a black mage.
What?
I saw what you did last night. I know what you are.
You don't know anything about me. And I'm not a black mage.
Okay, listen. I only stole from you because I thought you were trying to steal from the Advents.
I already told you that I wasn't stealing from them.
Yeah, but how'd I know that wasn't a lie? I thought you might steal from them or even try to kill him. You could have been a bandit for all I knew. I mean, Frank was hiding in the stables and wearing that hood and mask all the time. That's pretty bandit-like. You both were hiding something.
So because you didn't know everything about me you stole from me?
Exactly. Well, sorta. I assumed you'd do something stupid and get yourself killed by the Advents or the bandits. And I said to myself, Self, do you really want the people who murdered Charts to have his money too? Course not, so I lifted it, just in case, you know?
How kind of you.
Then I stuck around to see what would happen. But after seeing you're a black mage...
I'm not a black mage.
Sure, whatever you say. I just figured if you can do that, you could handle yourself. So I gave the money back.
What else did you see?
Nothing much. I saw you raise those dead merchants back from the Unza realm. I saw you command them to follow you, then attack the big monster thing. I saw him doing everything you commanded, which means that you have to be a black mage.
For the last time, I'm not a black mage.
So where we going?
We?
Yeah, I'm tagging along.
No, you're not.
Sure I am. I'm much more useful than you think, so I'll be tagging along if you don't mind.
I do mind.
That's okay.
Sorry. This is very good. Normally, people do not enjoy my company, or Frank's for that matter.
Well, I ain't normal.
No, you're a thief.
I gave you back the coin, so I'm ignoring that statement. But to answer your question...
I didn't ask a question.
I don't much like normal people. Or people, normally.
What?
But I like you.
I'm not going to get rid of you, am I?
Lead on, Chots, the Black Mage.
I traced my steps from the night before, leading us back to the bandit hideout. The smell of rot and death lingered in the air. The monster's corpse had been dragged to the edge of the clearing, its remains already teeming with flies. A freshly filled grave sat in the center of the clearing, no doubt the work of the Advents. A smaller grave was filled near the entrance of the bandit's cave, likely the location of the severed bandit and merchant's heads. Inside the bandit's cave, the place was a mess. Decaying supplies, torn blankets, and dirty mugs were scattered everywhere. It looked less like a hideout for dangerous bandits and more like a refugee camp for desperate men. I found a few torches just past the cave's entrance. I lit one and began my search. These men looked more like they were on the run instead of the highway villains the town made them out to be. If they were on the run, who were they running from, and why? A chest was hidden below a crumpled pile of clothing at the far end of the one-room hideout. A cursory glance told me that I would likely be disappointed by its contents, or lack thereof. The clothes had been half-heartedly tossed on top of the chest, and after moving a pair of trousers, I saw that the lock had been busted. With little enthusiasm, I lifted the lid and found what was expected. Nothing. The Advents must have stripped the chest of its contents after the fight last night. I let the lid slam closed and continued my scavenger hunt.
Hey, ya Chots, what you doing?
I'm searching the hideout?
Right. Smart thinking. What are we searching for?
Anything the Advents might have missed. It was dark and cold, and they were likely exhausted from last night's fight. I bet they wanted to get the bodies buried and get out of here as quickly as they could.
Nothing in the chest?
No, they cleared it out, but Guval may have hidden something more precious away. The chest could have been a decoy.
Ooh, that would have been clever.
And if the chest is a decoy, then a secret stash of the real valuables is here, somewhere. It's just a matter of finding it.
What makes you think that the bandits were that clever? They may have been simple thieves, stealing stuff from poor, unsuspecting merchant folk.
I don't think so. Guval, the bandit leader, said they didn't attack the merchants. They found the bodies and took the valuables. I tend to believe him after seeing what that monstrosity did. On top of that, if they were planning to be legitimate highway bandits, they wouldn't be hiding in a cave with a single room and exit. They'd be building an actual camp. They would also need a fence, someone to sell the stolen items to. It's highly unlikely that they would have such a person here in the forest. These towns are too small. Everyone knows everyone else.
So who do you think they are?
My guess is that they're on the run for something. A group this size, hiding out in the forest, killing time, living off the land the best they know how. My guess is they got into some trouble and are waiting for the dust to clear before returning to wherever they came from.
What kind of trouble?
Well, if I'm lucky, the kind of trouble where they stole something very valuable from someone very wealthy and then stashed it away in a secret place. A secret place a little like this. I pulled a fake boulder away from the wall, dragging it along the dirt floor. The stone matched the color of the interior cave walls, but the texture was significantly different. It was a light and porous material, which made it easy for me to shift. This time, I moved enthusiastically, sliding the knee-high boulder to the left and inspecting my find. The backside of the boulder had been carved out with sharp lines and grooves, reflecting the abuse of the chisel used to gut the stone. The bandits had carefully hammered out a flat spot as a shelf. The only problem was that, much like the chest, the shelf was empty. For the love of Blaze, why can't anything go right?
Hey, don't curse Blaze. He's my favorite.
It's gone. The damned Advents.
Of course it's gone. I already stole it.
You did what?
I came back after the Advents were finished last night and found the treasure.
But how?
You're clever, Charts, but so am I. I also pegged the bandits as thieves, obviously, and assumed the Advents would be satisfied after finding the merchant's goods in the chest. I was right. After they cleared out, I took a peek around, found the stash, and nabbed it.
What the literal fuck, Anya? Why didn't you tell me?
It was way more interesting to see you work this out. I know some pretty good thieves who would have taken much longer to piece this together.
You could have told me way earlier and saved me all this time.
Don't be getting mad at me. It's not like you asked.
Is this why you gave me my money back? You found something better?
Nah, I already told ya. I gave the coin back because you're a black mage, and I don't fuck with black mages.
I'm not a black mage.
If you say so.
By the gods, I'm cursed.
Hey, now, don't be upset. I'll make you a deal. I'll give you some of the treasure if you tell me how you do it.
How I do what?
How you bring people back from the underrealm? Back from the dead?
I collected my thoughts as we traced our way through the foliage back to the main road. Besides Frank, I had never told anyone about the Tree of Life and the seeds it bears. I slipped my hand into the hidden pocket of my cloak and retrieved one of the life seeds. Rolling the seed between my fingers, I decided on where to begin. Anya, are you familiar with the legends of the Tree of Life?
I've heard the name, but don't know the story. Is it a mountain folk thing?
No, I don't think so. It's an old story about the way the world began.
Oh, I don't think I know it.
The story goes like this. When the world was young, the gods lived among us, sharing the planet as they saw fit. At that point, there were many more gods than we know today.
Was Blade alive back then?
I think so. I think all the gods, like Rowan, Morn, and the Widow, were alive back then.
Good. I like Blade.
Anyway, the gods had different roles in creating Turinlay. Some helped form the planet itself, raising mountains, growing forests, and designing rivers. Others cared for the animals and wildlife, ensuring every ecosystem was in perfect harmony. There were many other roles, but you get the idea. So the gods worked together for thousands of years to cultivate Turnley as they saw fit, and for the most part, they worked well together. There was only one major problem. They disagreed on what to do with the people. Some gods wanted to make all of Turnley a utopia for humans, as long as they paid homage. Other gods believed people were a blight upon the planet. They despised the way we cut through their forests, dug through their mountains, and hunted their beasts. To those gods, we were an aberration, a flaw in the natural ecosystem of the world. The ancient gods bickered amongst themselves about whether they should kill, quarantine, enslave, or cherish us lowly humans. Because they could not agree, the gods did the only thing they felt they could.
They went to war?
What? No, that would have been cataclysmic. No. They decided to all go their separate ways and never talk to each other again. They began splitting up the land into islands where they could live however they saw fit, but in their haste to carve out their kingdoms, they didn't consider the impacts it would have on the planet. Turnley was thrust into turmoil. The land was being ripped asunder, and the planet became unstable. Volcanoes erupted, earthquakes destroyed cities, hurricanes swept through entire countries. There was death and devastation everywhere.
So what did they do?
Rowan, the god of life and nature, saw what was happening, and he called out to the other gods to stop their attacks on Turnley. He scolded that in their sanctimonious exploits, they'd become worse than the very humans they wished to separate from. In their shame, the gods listened to Rowan and ended their secession, but the damage had already been done. To repair the world, Rowan poured a piece of his eternal soul into one seed, which he then planted in the centermost island. From this seed, the tree of life began to grow. The roots of the tree reached out to the neighboring islands, and then the islands beyond them, and so on, until the tree had latched onto all the broken lands of Turnley and held them in place. It took time, but eventually the tree of life stabilized the planet, and the destructive forces of nature subsided. And that is how Rowan saved Turnley and formed the continent of Prycene.
That's a very fun story, but I don't see what it has to do with black magic.
It's not black magic. Do you see this?
Yes. Well, no. It's not an acorn. This is a... Oh my gosh. I'll try reading my lines.
I mean, it was going very well, I think, so...
Okay. The acorn?
Yes. Well, no, it's not an acorn. This is a seed from the tree of life. Well, one of its offshoots.
Offshoots?
When the tree of life spread its roots across Prycene in order to stretch out to other countries, new trees began to sprout from the earth, but they're all connected through its roots. This network of roots is called the wood web, and it spreads all over the continent. I found one of those trees and collected the seeds.
And that's how you bring people back from the dead?
Yeah, sorta. I place the seed of life in their body and say an incantation. More like a prayer to Rowan. Then they come back and I can tell them what to do. And they obey me to the best of their ability.
Oh. So could I do that too? Bring someone back from the dead by saying the magic words?
I don't...
Ooh! And do you think someone gave one of the seeds to the monster thing? Is that why it had black blood?
No, I don't...
Do your undead people have black blood too, or is it just the monsters that get created?
I call them vivified, not undead.
I wonder if there are other black mages around, or if you're the only one. If it's just acorns, it should be easy for anyone to do it. Well, I guess they're black magic acorns, and they would have to know the magic words, too. Chart, do you think I could see the Tree of Life? How far away is it from here?
Anya, you make a really good point.
Of course I do, but, which one?
The thing about the black blood.
Oh, right. What about it?
The vivified don't have black blood. Their blood is normal, even though they don't actually need blood anymore. That creature thing had black ichor for blood. It was a mammal, I think, so it should have had red blood.
Some things have different color blood.
Yeah, but I don't think anything has black ichor blood. I'll need to read more about that.
You have a book about blood?
No, but I'm sure I can find one.
Not likely to find one in Willow's Bend. You're gonna need to find a city with a library.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Course I am.
All right. I told you how I bring back the vivified, so now you need to keep your end of the deal. I get some of the treasure.
Oh, fair enough. Here you go. It's a bag of gems. You can pick one, but it can be whatever you want.
Just one?
Yeah. Any one of these gems is worth more than all your money.
All right. I'll take this one.
That one? Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's just an emerald. Several other gems in here are bigger, prettier, and worth more. Why not take one of those?
I like this one.
Whatever. Just don't try to sell it when we're back in town. No one there can afford it anyway, and it'll be suspicious.
Okay.
Now, let's get back to town. I heard there's going to be a festival for the Advents.
Her smirk returned, and I couldn't help but mirror it. A festival for the Advents? Perfect. Nothing like a little celebration to watch their web of lies unravel.
Yay! We did it. Nice job, guys. Good work. All right, I guess I should give a special shout out to a few people. Tisha Zang, our show editor, who does all the editing for my writing. So thank you, Tisha. And Adam Culbertson, the audio engineer for our podcast. So when you listen to the podcast, all of the cool background music, sound effects, and ambience, that's all him. Thank you, Adam. And then our two executive producers from Patreon, Nick Mead and Patrick T. Arsenault, as well as the rest of our patrons that help support the show financially. And if you want to learn more about the show or the cast, you can find it at our website at www.creativetypo.com. And that's it from us. Thanks, everyone. Bye.